Two men are jumping into the river to cool off. This is not a movie actor, it's about wildlife experts. They don't just enjoy the cool water in the scorching heat. They know how to get more resources, protein in the river. Whether it's raw or grilled, handle it neatly. Where they're located is the Brazilian tropical plains. It's over 13,000 square miles. There are towering rocks, giant dunes, and ancient landscapes. The climate here is extremely harsh. Half a year of continuous rain, half a year of dry skin burning. Two opposing types of weather make survival possible. Always be on high alert. But even in that condition, there are still off-road enthusiasts who come to the challenge. Myself and many others have lost their way. Snyder and Jeff appear in the dry season. They're crossing a field. I found a broken-down car. This is a precious resource for survival. Two people join forces to get up, check inside, and quickly find a BA lot containing the lobby, some useful repair tools, and full-blown tape roll. Snyder puts a backpack on his shoulder, but I don't know what area I'm in. Please stay for rescue. Snyder wants to climb the hill, find a better observation position. After a debate, Snyder agreed to stay the night. But they need fire and shelter from the sun. Jep looked up at the light on the roof of the car, came up with the idea of using the car as a shelter. They take action. Snyder removing cooling water tank, cut to pour sand in, while Jep goes out to get out of the sun, but nothing but empty land. Go back and use a shovel to dig a hole next to the car for shelter. Snyder was looking for water. The trees thought there was a stream, but it turns out it's not. Continue into the rock. I found a rock with water. Can't draw directly. He used plastic tubes in 3 batches as straws. Slowly transfer the water to the bottle. Meanwhile, Slippers persisted in digging holes for 10 minutes. Create cool space under the car. Just in time for Snyder to bring back the water. They don't care whether the water is clean or not. To sit in the shade. Take a real breath to regain strength. Two people sit for a while, drinking cool water, extremely refreshing. After resuscitation, they started thinking about starting a fire. Slippers for car light removal tools. Carefully separate the bulb raw and use a small knife, tapping the head so as not to break the incandescent. After a few tries, you manage to separate the glass without any damage, and put the light bulb back on. Meanwhile, Snyder, cutting off part of the tire to prepare the smoke-generating fuel. Signal when igniting fire. Go and pick up some hay and some wood and collect some rubber. Ready for some ignition signals. When everything is ready, Snyder rolls hay as a torch infused with gasoline, and car boot Slippers to create spark in high temperature. They so chalk. We're excited when the fire was burning and the smoke was thick. Roll up into the sky. If there are people around, I'm sure you'll see this rescue signal. Two people waiting in the sunset. But help hasn't arrived yet. They decided to stay overnight. The next morning I will find my own way out. In the morning there was no sign of rescue. They started saving themselves. Before leaving, they took everything they could from the car. Snyder removed the wind filter, and Slippers make another torch. They've also found termite nests, an excellent slow-burning material, combined with charcoal to form a living fire that can, maintained throughout the journey, help Slippers draw an arrow on the body of the car to point them to the room. In case the rescue team comes, they'll know the way. After the preparation is done, they set off towards the distant mountains. Snyder carrying firepack. It's still smoldering and smoking. The sun is rising. The lack of burning heat. They've been walking for 6 hours and they're exhausted. Both stopped for a break. Add termite nest to firepack to keep heat, and then keep walking. Sweat-soaked clothes. But they're finally getting close to the rocky terrain. Two people stop watching and identify the top of the mountain as the target. Take a break. They started to climb. Be careful to avoid large rocks that are firmly attached step by step. After a while, they both got to the top. Stand there and watch. Panoramic view around to find the direction of survival. There's no sign of civilization around. Make two people understand why. Fire signals no response. If there is no way out, create your own. Hope of being saved is still fragile, so they decided to find water first. Snyder pointed in the distance where there was a big bunch of palm trees. The plant consumes a lot of water, so it's likely to have water. I highly consider it an opportunity. Then they started down the mountain through the meadow, where your Slippers wobbling because of fatigue and the scorching sun, so they go wrong. Finally, we found a river in front of us. Throw away your luggage. Jump in the shower. The exhaustion dissipates. They're excited to enjoy the cool water, and the Slippers notice there's a lot of fish. Think about protein after a shower. Slider quickly find firewood. The Slipper thinking how to catch fish, even if there's no fishing rod or hook. Then he cut the logs near the shore and put them horizontally into the water. 2 headstone inserts. Plug more sharp wood piles according to the distance. Then stick with plants, trapping down the river. Snyder then use the palm tree trunk to make a conical tent frame. Wrap the yarn from the palm fiber around the frame and line the straw inside, while grafting the fish by taking branching plants, sharpening one end, and put a piece of metal in the middle to create a more secure spearhead. When it's all done, they gather at the river, ready to deploy traps and tools to catch fish. There are fish in front of them. swimming in the area. The water is surrounded. They both quickly grabbed the javelin and began to stab the fish. It's swimming towards you. There it is. I stabbed them. They screamed excitedly. But the next few times I missed, I couldn't catch any. But you two don't give up. Try again and again, 7 times without knowing how many times. I finally hit a fat fish. There must be more. This meat is delicious. They're so hungry they don't cook. Always make raw fish. Extremely delicious fresh fish meat. It contains 10 times more protein than beef. Some of them went to camp. Light a fire to cook. Pray together before eating. That day they didn't just enjoy raw fish. There's also fragrant grilled fish. Juicy soft meat makes both extremely satisfied. At night, they lay in the tent they had built, closing a challenging day. The next morning they got up early and followed the river. The river is always a natural path. Go where someone is. After more than an hour, suddenly there was a fire in front of me. Who's burning the torch? Snyder. Quickly use a mirror to reflect light off the signal. Not long after they were discovered, signs of civilization appear. This test is considered a success. While many survive in the wild, I was hungry for 8 days. These 2 guys have caught wild boars before to eat fragrant barbecue. Thirsty, there is always natural milk tea in the forest. This time they're going into the Arauco forest in South America. The forest covers 85,000 square miles. The rain caused the trees to be thick. Humidity so high that it makes everything slippery. Once you get lost, it's hard to get out. Not only that, there are also extremely poisonous creatures in this place. That's why every year, many biologists still come here. Animal systems research. Snyder and Slippers, 2 young biologists on a field trip. Unfortunately lost in the forest. They only have a small backpack. Some items like notebooks, headphones, hand towel, 2 boxes of venom and some tampons and stuff. No, the east is towards the sea. They decided to determine the direction before moving in this thick, humid forest. Distinguishing directions is impossible, so I came up with the idea of building a compass. Snyder out looking for materials, and Slippers lug string earphones in Balatra. Inside there are magnet components. The importance of the compass. He took another little piece of metal, removed the outer plastic layer, so there's the main ingredient. Snyder found some long branches, cut off a small branch to prepare for the body armor. Slippers use a piece of wire to tie the metal, and then take the magnet and squeeze it many times to make it magnetic. Snyder returned in time to help determine the direction. They hang a metal rope. Wait until it stops spinning. We were able to identify the east. The 2 began to cross the forest. When you walk for a while, you are suddenly in danger. A hairy belly snake, the second most poisonous snake on the planet. It's creeping out right next to them. Play is play is play. But life is absolutely impossible. Risking both tensions watching the venomous snake. She was scared and alert and waited for him to leave. After making sure it's safe, they continued deep into the forest. I don't know how long it's been in front of me. There's a cliff. It turned out to be a giant, majestic canyon. But if you want to go down, that's the problem. I don't know when to go around. After the discussion, they decided to put it on hold and take shelter. Because at night, it's freezing cold. The 2 returned to the nearby forest, found a place with many arched trunks wrapped together. Looks good to build a tent. They chose this position and started working. Snyder went to find the big wood and the Slippers went to pick up the materials. Suddenly I discovered a small cave in the ground. You stop working, take some long branches and start laying traps. 2 bar Slippers to the ground. Use the earphones as a noose. Some quick operations. The trap's done. I tried it and it worked pretty well. Over there, Snyder carried 3 large logs parallel to the ground. And then add smaller branches to create a background. And then he started putting up the tent in an orderly fashion. Back Slippers bring less wet green moss. This holds water and can be used to cover the roof. Snyder's finished the slipper frame. Add fresh branches and cover the moss outside. So the tent is complete. Next is the big challenge. If ignition in a humid environment. Sendel take note board, sanitary pads and heating bags hand and be lot out. He cut a small piece from the board, cotton separator inside for more flour and heating bag, rolled up as a fire starter. At that time it started to rain, but I persist. Cause the panel to create friction and then use another sheet to brush hard. Snyder brought the wood, and he relented. 2 people take turns rubbing. Come on, keep going. Snyder cheered until the cotton started to burn red. They gently put the bait into the wood and blow the smoke out. A small fire broke out and quickly became a big fire. There was a warm fire and they both breathed a sigh of relief. After a long day of work, now it's time for them to replenish water and energy. They go deeper into the forest, suddenly found on a stem that grows out of a particular plant, just like the natural 8, can be filled with clear and clean rainwater. Stand slider as pedestal. Slippers on your shoulders, embrace the trunk. Let the moss jump. Try to climb up little by little to get water. You and Tay are going to stick to the wood next to. My mouth is still tied. I also want to try. The whole village had a party of 8. I'm lucky you can hold on to the tree. Flipped the escapian narrowly, and then slowly crawl up to where there's a strange plant cover. Picking down throw for Snyder below before being careful to get down. 2 people check together. I see it contains a lot. Cool water to drink. A breath was extremely thirsty. Complete replenishment of energy. They continue their exploration in the forest. Slippers back to the trap. The trap shows signs of activation, but I didn't catch anything. There's only a few wild boar footprints nearby. It's getting dark, and we're not getting any protein. Hungry overnight. The next morning, they remembered last night's sign. There are real wild boars around here, so we talked about having bacon today. They took their long noses, put a little more poison on the tip, follow the footprints. The more you go, the clearer the trail. Both excited to continue to explore. Then suddenly at a small stream, they saw the big wild boar drinking water. 2 people quick tack a table and then divide the siege. A fierce battle broke out. The wild boar was finally defeated. They're excited to have the source. Protein giant. Snyder carries the prey with heavy shoulders. So they decided to stop processing on the spot. That night they made a fire and put each piece of meat on the grill. The smoke is still waiting and praying. When the meat is golden, 2 people eat well, out crispy and soft, greasy, overflowing taste, full of ineffable happiness. This meat is 10 times better than beef. The next morning they were pretty good. Then pack the thighs, grill with large leaves to bring along the way, clean it up. The 2 continue their journey along the cliff looking for a way round the alley, on the way to find some dung. It seems to be a bison, so be careful. They climbed up the slope in the foggy fog. Looming, there are houses and traces of people. Challenge signaling. This time it finally succeeded.